All right, hello, all my cool cats and kittens. This is just part two, and we're going to go over the discussion week two post. So let me just share my screen real quick, and we'll get you guys going. So this is discussion post week two and discussions. Number one is pretty self-explanatory. Just pick a topic from the lecture that stood out to you and summarize why it was interesting to you and add your own thoughts to it. So give me 1 to 2 paragraphs. If you found anything interesting in my lecture, which I hope all of you did, you could pick one of the sociological perspectives to expand upon. You could, write about Karl Marx, just something that was interesting to you that you want to expand upon. Do it in number one. So number two is the one that I want to get more in depth with, and I'll just read it first. In 200 words, pick a topic, specify a hypothesis, and design a scientific way to test this hypothesis. So pick a topic that's pretty, so we picked some topics down here that are pretty general, but if you guys aren't interested in any of those topics, feel free to pick one that's more interesting to you, because you're going to be more invested if it's more interesting to you. So if some of these don't, just pick a new one. Maybe go to the book to get an idea of maybe a hypothesis that you want to expand upon. But so when you're researching, when you're selecting a researchable problem, the book gives some good examples in chapter 2, and they say, what's important to you? What do you think's happening in the world? Why is it in need of change? So these are good questions to ask before you pick a topic, so you know that it's more interesting to you. So then you got to ask yourself, how do I narrow down this topic? And so I picked drug use among teenagers just as an example. So for my example, I'm going to go, how do I formulate a testable hypothesis? If I want to look at why drug use is up among teens, I might research and narrow down that topic to a hypothesis of maybe father absence. So maybe when I was discovering, why teens are using drugs, maybe I narrowed down that topic and I saw something in a scholarly article that said, and I'm just making this up, but maybe it said teens are 7 times more likely to use drugs if the father is not in the home. So after you get down to a more narrow topic, the researchable hypothesis you might come up with was, why do kids want to fill the void of father absence with drugs? And that's a more narrow topic than just drug use among teenagers. So then you have to design a scientific way to test this. So how am I going to find this out? How do I get answers on my topic? I may do a survey, and this is all in chapter 2. So if you need hints about how to answer this, go to chapter 2. It's some good stuff. You guys have probably learned this in science in high school. If you didn't, I have zero faith in the school system. But this should all be pretty, it shouldn't be new to you. So if you need any ideas, go to chapter 2. So you might do a survey. I might survey people online. I might look at existing stats online. Who will I ask? Who is my sample population? Do I want to do questionnaires? Do I want to interview people to get my data? Probably can't do direct observation with drug use in teens unless you want to, be a stalker. I don't recommend that. But in another topic, you could do a direct observation, for example. So once you ask your question, you have to think about how are you going to get the data that you need to answer it. And that's basically it. And if you guys have any questions, just text me. I wanted you, so if you have a question that you need answered on Populi that you think that everybody has, do it on Populi. But if it's just a quick text or something, I don't mind. I thought I was going to have way more students. So if you guys just do a quick text, it's fine with me. I thought I was going to have like 10 students, and I didn't want 10 people texting me, but I only have 3 or 4. So 4, yeah. And so just text me real quick. I answer pretty quick. I'm on my phone a lot. So be creative, use the chapter in your answer, and if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Thanks. You guys made it through part 2.